Hello everyone. Welcome. Kicking off CEO Diaries. I am, of course, your host. I'm Lauren Dallas, CEO of Future Females. And this is a particularly exciting episode of CEO Diaries because I'm going to be talking, for me, exciting, because I'm going to be talking about marketing audits. So I can see people, we are on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we are on YouTube. Welcome. Please do say hi as you're connecting through. I love these sessions when they are engaging, and I hope you'll ask all of your questions as I go through the process that we've been taking behind the scenes, which is really the intention of CEO Diaries in the first place. The intention is to go behind the gloss of the typical marketing content that you see online from all businesses and really uphold our ethos at Future Females of telling it like it is, sharing the real struggles, key decisions, what works, what doesn't with you, so that we can help you on your journey as much as possible as you grow and scale your own business online. So hopefully that all sounds good. You are in the right place if you are excited or even just understand that doing a marketing audit can have a really massive impact in terms of your business performance. Yay, you can see people are joining and saying hi, hello, welcome. Cool. So I want to talk about what a marketing audit is, the two key components of a marketing audit that you need to make sure that you're covering. So often entrepreneurs only focus on one. And then I'm going to take you through a checklist to help you do this in your own business after this session. So you'll see in the chat here in the caption of this video that if you DM us on Instagram, just type audit, and we're going to send over to you a free audit checklist. This is going to help you literally go through the steps that I'm chatting about in this video for yourself and your business. Cool. So make sure you do that. It'll be easier to follow along. So what is a marketing audit? There's a lot of different perspectives on this. I want to talk about what a marketing audit is or how it's most valuable in the context of being an entrepreneur, as opposed to being a really scaled organization. So keeping in mind the limited resources we have, how can we do a marketing audit that is going to be relatively quick and allow us to get the data and insights we need to make rapid improvement decisions and actions? So that is the intention. So an audit essentially looks at both internal and external. And so the free checklist that you can get from us on Instagram is broken up into these two sides. Your audit needs to look internally first. What that means is assessing the marketing strategy and strategic assets you have, as well as the way you are executing your marketing, even if it's just you, to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. So we start there before we then look at, the touch points with our customer to make sure we've got the foundations in place. Okay, so some of those, but I'm going to go into more detail, for example, would be, do you have up-to-date customer personas that, you didn't just make on day one of your business, that you've reviewed and confirmed are relevant and describe your current highest value customers, and therefore, you're creating content for the right people. So I'll go more into that. Yay, hello. I love this as people join saying hi. And then the second component of a marketing audit is the external. And the external is looking at, for all of your touch points, meaning anywhere a customer can engage with your brand, your website, Google search results, your different social platforms, even you as the founder, what do your personal profiles look like? Are they all telling the same story? Because that's how you build trust. And are you putting the customer journey into a seamless and consistent experience? So you're not losing people as they're going through and engaging with your business. So that's what the intention of today is. I want to share how we've been doing this at Future Females before we get into the practical detail. So grab your checklist in the meantime. At Future Females, we call this Close the Gaps. So we have a work stream called Close the Gaps, which is essentially exactly what I'm saying. Looking at our strategy, where are the holes in it? Where are the gaps that we need to close? Our operations, where are the gaps? And then literally every channel, even every blog post we have ever written, going back and just looking at, is there a gap here? Is it speaking to our current proposition? Does it have our most relevant offers in? Is it using the keywords that are actually working for us? Why do this, right? There's something I was talking about in a recent webinar. I'm not sure if any of you joined. It was called How to Do Less in Your Business and Earn More. And one of the profit holes, like where female entrepreneurs are often losing money, was called the creator's curse. Let me know if any of you are in the creator's curse. It's very common for entrepreneurs because we are creators, right? We're building businesses. We're creating something from nothing. The creator's curse is where we just keep creating more and more and more, post more content, rather than taking a pause and saying, how do I maximize everything I've already done? Like that piece of content that performed super well last year, how do I use that again to get the same or even better results? That launch I did that killed it, how do I just rinse and repeat and do it again? A friend of mine is in a launch right now. It is his 10th time doing the exact same launch. Well, exact but improved. And every single time his revenue is increasing. I think it's like 10 times what it was in his first launch. So with that in mind, this audit helps you do that. What do you have? What is still relevant? And also, like, what are the quick updates you can make to move the needle as opposed to needing to create something completely from scratch? Cool. Please do ask questions as we go through this, because I can see people commenting on YouTube and on LinkedIn and Facebook now. So happy to answer questions as we go through or contextualize this for your businesses as well. Okay, perfect. So that's the intention. Let's do less, use what we've already built, but get better traction and earn more. Okay, so as I said, we call this close the gaps. What we did from a process perspective was literally first in a spreadsheet, like list all of the things that we have. Strategic things, like when did you document your marketing strategy? When did you set your goals? Link out to them, create your like master list of documents, and just go through and traffic light it. Meaning like green, this is still correct and still representative of my current business and status. Orange is like, it's okay, but it needs some work. Red is like, I don't have this. Like if you don't have your marketing forecasts in a spreadsheet that you're reviewing, that would be a red, right? You'll get this in our checklist as well once you've DM'd us on Instagram, but traffic light system can work really nicely because it helps you prioritize. So you want to do that for the strategic side of your marketing. Then you want to do it from your operational side. You might be thinking, it's just me, so I don't really have an operational side. But what you'll see in the checklist is things like making sure your Google Analytics is on all of the pages of your website. Because if you can't track it, you can't improve it. So if you don't actually know where people are clicking, where they're dropping off, how are you going to improve your results? So the second pillar is operational. The third is then your brand. So before you even start making collateral, right, you want to have something to draw from, a resource that has your brand messaging. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. I showed you how to do this on ChatGPT, create your brand messaging framework. You want to have your brand messaging architecture and your vocabulary guide, so that then the next pillar of marketing, you're creating collateral based on that template every time so that it's consistent. And then that last pillar in your checklist is actually checking your touch points. So the best way to do this, and what we've been doing, and we've been working on this for about 3 to 4 weeks, is literally just having someone, so I have a team member, but you can also do it, just put yourself in the shoes of your customer. Pretend you have never seen your own business before and go through the experience. If I follow you, if you're a new customer to you and you go to your Instagram profile and you click on the top post, do you know what to do next? Does the post say, hey, click on my bio for to see my latest offer? Does C DM me for this information? Is there a logical next step, or are you hoping that people are going to figure it out? This is why we call it close the gaps, because people don't figure it out, right? So the best thing you can do is connect the dots for your audience, find those holes. So it could be, and if you look at our Future Females account, and we're doing this right now, I'm running a video chatting to you guys, and it says, hey, you want a free audit checklist? DM us. You'll DM us, we'll send it to you. Then we'll be like, cool, what are you struggling with? And maybe you're struggling with building your brand, which we have another free resource for. So we're going to help you with that. Or maybe say, we'll email it to you. So it kind of connects the dots in your customer journey. So often we look at our efforts in silos. We're like, okay, Instagram, I need to grow my following. Email, I need to grow my leads. But like, how is one contributing to the next? And then website, I need to make more sales. How is Instagram growing your email? How is your email driving your website sales? They're the dots that we need to connect. And if you, I'll give you some examples. Like, let's say you are on Instagram and you do have a following that's growing, but your revenue isn't increasing. You're making more content, you're having good conversations, and you're like, cool, I'm starting to get good traction, but my sales are not increasing. That's probably just because you have one of these gaps that you need to close. And it could be as simple, and it often is as simple, as just having more calls to action between each of these steps. And literally saying like, DM me for this information, DM me for my offer, or click through on my bio, click the link to see more about what we do. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and check some of these questions. Candace, is it possible to review a recording of the event? 100%. It was 2 weeks ago. So just scroll back on LinkedIn. All of the recordings are still available for you. And I actually screen share. It was more of a training than this one. It's just a bit of a reflection, a training on how to do it. I'm not sure. Tell me if you are a member of Future Females. If you are, then we also have a ChatGPT course coming that shows you how to do this, but also so much more, free for all of our members. If you're not a member, the link is in the caption as well on LinkedIn. Cool. Okay, perfect. Let me pop this one up. I can't see your name, unfortunately, but I'm guessing you might be Josh based on the next comments. But being in gaming, this is normal for us. Wondering what your thoughts are on brands, companies having a community/tribe management team. 100%. I think this is, well, firstly, obviously it's different depending on your strategy, but the thing is with community, and even with just growing your engagement on social channels, it comes from conversation, right? Content is one thing, but it can be quite one way. And all these social platforms were built to reward us when we're having two-way conversations. So if you're a solo founder, you can start doing it yourself, but you will quickly, if you have it trying to manage 50 conversations a day, that's a full-time job. So we have a community manager. Actually, now we have 2.5 community managers at Future Females, literally supporting with the one-on-one conversations. There's a lot that you can do through automation, right? Build ChatGPT into a bot. I mean, you're in gaming, so I'm sure this is a no-brainer for you. But the problem is it doesn't feel human. So we have actually recently replaced quite a bit of our automation with actual people. So for example, when you DM us on Instagram to get this checklist, it's Delsha, our community manager behind the scenes, who is messaging each one of you back. It's not an automation. Just because I think that really now to differentiate, you have to be human. And that's what ChatGPT can't replace. And so being, Future Females is a community. We're leaning even more and more into that. We're like, this is our competitive advantage. So let's not automate away our advantage. We'll rather lean more into it. So emails, we have a full dedicated community manager just for our members as well. So basically, big fan. Assuming community is core to your business, which I think it should be for everyone because it helps you future-proof, then definitely create a team. I think what people underestimate, and I'm curious, like, tell me where you're at with this, Josh, so we can chat more. I think what people underestimate is how much training your community management team not needs, but should receive to be able to be that first line of defense or that first touch point. These people need to be living and breathing. For me, it's like, you are future females, actually. So you need to know the values. You need to know every resource we offer. You need to know the pain points every single one of our customers is facing and how to respond to that. So we train like twice a week our community managers, because your pains are evolving, technology is evolving, and so we need to stay ahead of that. Cool. Love that question. Please do add any others in as well. I think that's such an interesting point coming to the audit as well, and it's actually not in the checklist, but I should add it. But it is a separate resource that we have. So when you message us on Instagram, if you want to ask Delsha for this, please do. It's to audit your own time, right? What you don't want is for you to not have time to manage your community effectively and for engagement to decrease. Like, rather pare back the lead generation, build up your capacity, and then turn it on again. It's always this kind of delicate balance. Our resource is called Time is Money. Audit your time and get more hours back in your day. Our second audit. So you can get our marketing audit and also your personal time audit through our DMs if you want it. We have a manifesto called Progress Over Perfection. Love it. At Future Females, we say consistent, imperfect action, just to keep things moving ahead. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so let me know if you have any other questions on what I've spoken about so far. It's actually not a complicated process at all, right? Like, as I'm speaking through this, you're probably like, yeah, of course I understand that. Like, yeah, of course I should go to Google, search my own brand, and make sure the text that comes up is correct and that I'm using Google My Business. I think the problem is that we just don't necessarily do it because we're always looking forward. So this is what we do. We now do it biannually. And this is what the checklist will help you do. So you can just block like half a day, once every 6 months, work through the internal and external points in the checklist, and then keep running. Perfect. The last thing that I want to say on the audit is a lot of this is about having data, right? Because you can take these improvement actions, but if you're not tracking your performance and your increase of performance over time, then it's like if a tree falls in the wood, doesn't make a sound. If you do all of these actions, but you're not tracking the data to see if it's improving or not, then did it really do anything? So I would say at an absolute minimum, make sure you're using Google Analytics in your business and tracking that. We do it, I think I've said before, every single morning, and maybe this is a future CEO diaries. Every morning we track into a spreadsheet our marketing performance, our sales performance, and our member engagement performance. And obviously I have a team. So each team member is presenting it to other team members. Even if it's just you, right? It keeps you accountable and also allows you to just keep prioritizing effort because you know what you did that day. Either do more of it or do less, right? So make sure you're tracking that data. Google Analytics, it's such a no-brainer. It's free and it gives you everything that you need. If that's the only takeaway from this, just to make sure you have your analytics set up, I think that would be a pretty good one. Perfect. Okay, so that is what I wanted to cover. I think today, really, as you can see, it's me speaking and we've gone through this process, but I've packaged everything I've been saying into a freebie for you. So you can use the rest of the time we'd normally be on here to start working through it for your business. So message us on Instagram, Audit. If you have other questions, it's going to be Delsha behind the scenes helping you, so please do ask. And enjoy this process, right? Because it's quick little changes you can make, and it can really move the needle for you rather than needing to create something from scratch. So enjoy it. And I'm going to be back next week. Next week's CEO Diaries is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have my TikTok manager joining me, Michaela, and we're going to be speaking through how the hell do you grow on TikTok? What is working from an entrepreneur perspective in terms of the content that's working for growth, for engagement, and then also for conversion. So come with your TikTok questions, and I will see you same time, same places next week. Cool. Have a good one. Bye.